What's cracking, everybody? Saturday morning, new video. This is gonna be a story about YA that I remembered. This happened. Those of you that saw the Cayucas video I did, I'll try to put a tag on here. A little, I don't know what the hell it's called. You can click on it and go and watch the Cayucas video if you want. But this story is gonna be one that took place in Cayucas, in the Youth Authority, Paso Robles. So Cayucas was unlike any other unit. Um, I think Napomo where I was and Cayucas, they were the seniors in those two units were different. You know, Napomo where I was at, he used to actually the senior. His name was Tidwell, BT Tidwell. He was the main cop for the unit, right? And he used to let us all. He would take everybody out there outside, right, to the yard, and he would say, "Whoever has a problem with somebody, go ahead." But they would play it off like it was, it was weird, but you could do that, right? I don't know any other unit that was doing that. That the senior would say, "Everybody out there, let's go. Whoever has a problem, square up, get it," you know. And then Cayucas, they had casino night. I know there's gonna be some people in the comment section that were in Cayucas that'll remember. Um, so they would pick up all the bunks, put them against the windows, so the vans going by wouldn't be able to see in. They would play music all night. They would let them play cards, gamble, with cards, blackjack, poker, whatever. The blacks would shoot dice, and it was just like I think it was like once a month or so they had it over there, right? Well, one day they were playing the music, and first let me before I even go there, let me just tell you, I'm gonna say the guy's name. Okay, there was a black dude out of West Oakland, if I remember right. His name was Murphy. He went by Murphy, right? His last name. We got to Paso around the same time because we were on the same orientation crew. So when you first get there, you go through orientation, you go through certain classes and shit. And he was on the same crew as me. And Murphy was ghetto, man. That was a straight street dude. You could tell, hustler. But he was not giving a fuck. And I remember there was a dude. I'm not gonna say his name. There was a dude from Virginia Street Locos, right in LA, in Hollywood, and he said a word, and Murphy heard him, and we had actually told him because when he said it, we told him, "Hey, let's kick back with that shit." And then he said it again, and when he said it again, Murphy told him, "Hey, I heard what the fuck you said," and Murphy beat the brakes off him. It was fun. I had already fought the dude for Virginia Street. I didn't like him at all. I had already got down with him. He thought he was tough. He was far from it. But Murphy beat the bark off of him, man. And Murphy had gotten in a few fights when we first got there. That's kind of like a time where everybody wants to go ahead and establish themselves and get off as much as they can. As soon as they get to Paso. Anyways, so Murphy winds up going to Cayucas. Wow, this is when oh fucking Kid Frost had just came out, and that song "This Is for the Raza" had just came out, And for the raza, that was something different. Like, yeah, you had Lighter Shade of Brown and all that stuff going on, but that song right there, the raza was feeling it. You listen to it now and it's kind of funny, but we were feeling it. And so that song, when they're playing, doing casino night, playing music, everybody's gambling and shit. And the staff put on that song. This is for the raza. I think somebody probably asked him, "Hey, play this song, man." And the Hura threw it on, and um, they said that when that song came on, Murphy was standing with somebody, and he told him, "What the fuck is that shit?" And immediately, a lot of people turned to look like, "What?" And the blacks that he was with were like, "Hey, you might want to kick on back." And he was like, "Man, fuck that shit. Turn that shit off." And the blacks he was with were like, "Hey, these essays ain't gonna like that, man." And he was like, "I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear that shit." And he kept going. So the next day, when we went back to regular, they put all the bunks down and everything. Um, in the middle of the night, man, if I remember right, it was like 5 dudes jumped on him, and they all had locks. Those little dial locks they have on the locker. They all had locks and socks, and they rushed Murphy, man. Boop, boop, boop. And you know what? And this goes back to when I talked about something in another video a while back, how when somebody does something that you got to tip your hat to, everybody's gonna hear about it. They jumped on Murphy. They were fucking him up, but he stood up and he fought, and he actually took one of the socks out of the homie's hand and started swinging it himself. And he was giving it as good as he could, man. But I remember seeing him after, and he like all this had got busted open. But I just remember that, man, because I saw yesterday on Gil's channel. I saw a little short thing where him and I think it's a Mexican rapper. I don't want to. I want to say it was that guy Any Means, I think, but I'm not sure. But they had a good little conversation, and um, that dude mentioned Frost. They were both talking about Kid Frost, and then it reminded me of old Murphy, man. Um, I don't know whatever happened to him, but I know old Murphy got served over a Kid Frost song. Could you imagine? But it was one of those things, man, where but like I said, why was especially Paso Robles was really, really there was a lot of gang banging, but there was a lot of racism. That place, I will say, that was a breeding place for that shit. The staff were in on it. They like to play on that shit, and it was a motherfucker. But Murphy, you still around? I know Oakland's wild, homie. But if you're still around, I know you remember this, and you did your thing. You did as good as you could, man. 5 or 6, I don't remember, 5 or 6 dudes on him with locks, and you got one. You did that. All right, man. So with that, I'm gonna bring this one to a close. Um, thank you guys for all the support I've been getting lately. You guys see, I'm trying to put out content every day. Um, you guys have been here, so I'm gonna try to give you all I can. All right. So with that, I'm out. Tell the ones you love that you love them.